Did you know that scattered across the American heartland, there are hundreds of 60-foot-tall giants sleeping underground? They're not characters from a fairy tale. They are very real, very powerful, and they have been a silent part of our country's defense for over 50 years. These giants are the LGM-30 Minuteman III missiles. They sit quietly in hardened silos, buried deep in the earth, waiting for a call that everyone hopes will never come. It's a strange kind of job, being ready every second of every day for a task you pray you'll never have to do. But that's the reality of these machines. They are the ultimate insurance policy. These missiles are not just weapons, they are complex pieces of engineering, built to perform one of the most serious jobs on the planet. Think about the sheer scale of it all. Each one stands as tall as a 6-story building and weighs nearly 80,000 pounds. That's heavier than a fully loaded semi-truck. Yet, these massive machines are designed to travel faster than a speeding bullet, covering thousands of miles in less time than it takes to watch a movie. They represent a level of power and precision that is hard to wrap your head around, a testament to human ingenuity directed toward a truly solemn purpose. The name Minuteman itself tells you a lot about its purpose. It's a nod to the colonial Minutemen, who were said to be ready to fight at a minute's notice. The missile lives up to that name. From the moment an order is given, it can be launched in under a minute. This readiness is a key part of its job. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being so prepared that no one would ever want to start a fight. It's a strange and dirty job, maintaining these powerful tools, but it's a job that people have been doing diligently, day in and day out, for decades. This essay is a deep dive into one of those giants. We're going to look under the hood, so to speak. We'll break down what makes it work, from its powerful rocket boosters to the incredibly complex guidance system that steers it. We'll explore the journey it takes from its underground home to a target halfway around the world. It's not a story about glory or war, but a straightforward look at a machine that holds immense power and responsibility. It's a story about a job, a very serious job, that shapes our world in ways we rarely see. So, what is this thing really? At its core, the LGM-30 Minuteman III is an intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM for short. Let's break that down. Intercontinental means it can travel from one continent to another, with a range of over 6,000 miles. Ballistic means it follows a specific path, like a ball thrown high into the air. It's launched into space, travels along a predictable arc, and then comes back down toward its target. It's the land-based part of America's nuclear defense system, a silent guardian standing watch from below the ground. These missiles are America's primary way of having a powerful response ready at a moment's notice. The Minuteman III is a 3-stage solid-fuel rocket. Think of it like a firework with 3 separate sections that burn one after the other. Each stage is a solid rocket motor, packed with a fuel that looks and feels a bit like a rubber eraser. This solid fuel is a big deal because it's very stable and can be stored for years without needing to be fueled up right before launch. This is why the missile can be fired so quickly. There's no fumbling with liquid fuels or complicated pumps. It's always ready to go. The simplicity and reliability of solid fuel is what makes the Minuteman III such a dependable tool for its job. As of today, October 31, 2025, the United States keeps about 400 of these missiles deployed and ready. They are spread out across several states, including Wyoming, Montana, and North Dakota, housed in underground launch facilities. These silos are built to withstand incredible force, ensuring the missiles can survive an attack and still be able to launch if needed. This survivability is a critical feature. The whole point is to have a weapon that can't be easily taken out, which helps discourage anyone from trying in the first place. It's a powerful deterrent, a way of keeping the peace through strength. This missile is the last of its kind in many ways. It's the only land-based ICBM in America's arsenal. Over the years, it has been upgraded and maintained to keep it reliable and effective. But it's an old design, first deployed in the 1970s. While there are plans to replace it with a new system, the Minuteman III continues to do its job, a silent and powerful reminder of the responsibilities that come with being a global power. It's a piece of Cold War history that is still very much a part of our present, performing its solemn duty day after day. When you look at a diagram of a Minuteman III, it might just seem like a big, pointy cylinder. But inside that sleek frame is a collection of incredibly sophisticated parts, each with a very specific and important job. The missile is essentially made up of 3 main sections stacked on top of each other. At the very bottom are the 3 rocket boosters or stages. These are the powerful engines that will lift this 80,000-pound machine off the ground and push it into space. Each stage is a self-contained rocket motor designed to fire in sequence, providing the massive thrust needed for the journey. Above the rocket stages, you'll find what's called the post-boost vehicle, or PBV. You can think of this as the final delivery truck. After the main rocket boosters have done their job and pushed the payload out of the atmosphere, the PBV takes over. It has its own small, precise engines that allow it to make fine-tuned adjustments to its course. Its job is to get the warhead to the exact right spot in space at the exact right speed and angle before letting it go. It's a marvel of precision engineering, ensuring the payload is aimed perfectly before its final descent. Of course, none of this would work without a brain. That's where the guidance system comes in. Tucked away near the top of the missile, this system is a complex mix of gyroscopes, accelerometers, and a computer. From the moment of launch, it's constantly measuring the missile's speed, direction, and orientation. It talks to the rocket nozzles and the PBV engines, making tiny corrections to keep the missile exactly on its pre-programmed path. This system is what gives the Minuteman III its incredible accuracy, allowing it to hit a target thousands of miles away with pinpoint precision. Finally, at the very tip of the missile, inside a protective cone called a re-entry vehicle, is the payload itself, the warhead. This is the part of the missile that carries the destructive force. The re-entry vehicle is designed to do one thing: protect the warhead from the intense heat and pressure of re-entering Earth's atmosphere at more than 15,000 miles per hour. It's an aerodynamic shield that ensures the warhead reaches its destination intact. Each of these parts, boosters, post-boost vehicle, guidance system, and re-entry vehicle, has to work perfectly together for the missile to do its job. Now, we get to the part of the missile that commands the most respect and caution: the warhead. The Minuteman III carries a single thermonuclear warhead, known as the W-87. This is the business end of the missile, the reason it exists. It's important to understand that this is not a conventional bomb. Its power is almost beyond comprehension. The W-87 warhead has a yield of 300 kilotons. To put that in perspective, it is over 20 times more powerful than the bomb that was used on Hiroshima in World War II. It's a staggering amount of energy packed into a relatively small package. The warhead itself is housed inside the re-entry vehicle, which is called the Mark 21. This vehicle is shaped like a cone and is built to be incredibly tough. Its job is to protect the W-87 during the fiery plunge back to Earth. As it screams through the atmosphere, friction generates incredible heat, but the Mark 21's heat shield keeps the internal components safe. The re-entry vehicle is also designed for stability and accuracy. It even has a system that makes it spin as it falls, which helps keep it on a stable, predictable path, much like a quarterback puts a spiral on a football for a more accurate throw. Inside the warhead, the science is incredibly complex, but the basic idea involves two stages. The first stage uses a conventional explosion to trigger a nuclear fission reaction, which is the splitting of atoms. This initial reaction releases a massive burst of energy, primarily in the form of X-rays. This energy is then used to trigger the second, much more powerful stage, a nuclear fusion reaction. This is the same process that powers our sun, where atoms are forced together. The combination of these two reactions is what creates the immense, destructive power of a thermonuclear weapon. It's crucial to remember that this device is designed as a deterrent. Its power is so immense, the consequences of its use so dire, that its primary purpose is to prevent a war from ever starting. The men and women who maintain these systems understand this profound responsibility. They are not working with an ordinary weapon. They are the custodians of a force that has the power to change the world in an instant. The seriousness of this job cannot be overstated, and it's a weight that is carried every single day by those involved. A missile that can travel thousands of miles is, well, pretty much useless if it can't hit its target. That's why the guidance system is, honestly, one of the most critical parts of the Minuteman III. It's the missile's brain, its internal navigator, that ensures it stays on course from the moment it leaves the silo. Now, this system doesn't rely on GPS or any outside signals, which could be jammed or disrupted. Instead, it uses something called inertial guidance. Basically, it knows where it started, it knows where it's supposed to go, and it feels every single movement it makes along the way to calculate its position. The heart of this inertial guidance system is a highly sensitive set of instruments. It includes gyroscopes, which are kind of like spinning tops that always want to stay pointed in the same direction. These gyroscopes give the missile a stable reference point, so it always knows which way is up, down, left, and right. It also has accelerometers, which are devices that measure changes in speed and direction. By constantly tracking its own acceleration and rotation, the missile's onboard computer can calculate its exact position and velocity at any given moment, without any help from the outside world. From the second the rocket ignites, the guidance system is working. It compares the missile's actual flight path to the pre-programmed path stored in its memory. If it detects even the slightest deviation, a gust of wind, a slight imbalance in the rocket motor, it immediately sends commands to correct the course. During the boost phase, it does this by adjusting the nozzles on the rocket engine, steering the missile kind of like a boat with a rudder. Later, it controls the small, precise engines on the post-boost vehicle to fine-tune the trajectory before releasing the warhead. This level of precision is honestly, truly, remarkable. A Minuteman III, launched from the middle of the United States, can travel over 6,000 miles, and is expected to land within a few hundred feet of its target. That's like throwing a baseball from New York City and having it land on a specific dinner plate in Los Angeles. The guidance system is an incredible piece of technology, a self-contained brain that performs one of the most demanding navigational tasks imaginable. It's a testament to the meticulous engineering required to make such a complex machine work flawlessly. The journey of a Minuteman III begins with a tremendous burst of power. The missile is essentially a stack of 3 separate rockets called stages, and each one has a specific job to do. When the launch command is given, the first stage ignites. This is the largest and most powerful of the 3, weighing over 50,000 pounds all by itself. Its job is pure brute force, to lift the entire 80,000-pound missile out of its silo and push it through the thickest part of Earth's atmosphere. In just 60 seconds. This first stage burns through all its fuel, lifting the missile about 20 miles high. Once the first stage has used up its fuel, it's just dead weight. So, it separates from the rest of the missile and falls away. At that moment, the second stage rocket motor ignites. This stage is smaller and lighter, but its job is just as important. It continues to push the missile higher and faster, carrying it to the very edge of space. The second stage burns for about another minute, accelerating the missile to incredible speeds. During this part of the flight, the protective shroud covering the re-entry vehicle is jettisoned, as it's no longer needed in the vacuum of space. After the second stage burns out, it also separates, and the third and final rocket stage kicks in. This stage is even smaller, but by now, the missile is already moving at thousands of miles per hour, and has shed most of its initial weight. The job of the third stage is to provide the final push, propelling the payload out of Earth's atmosphere and onto its ballistic trajectory. It burns for about another minute, giving the post-boost vehicle and the warhead the last bit of speed they need to coast the rest of the way to the target. This step-by-step process of shedding weight is what makes the missile so efficient. By dropping each stage after it has done its job, the remaining parts of the missile are much lighter and easier to accelerate. It's a bit like a mountain climber shedding heavy gear as they get closer to the summit. Each stage is a powerful, controlled explosion, perfectly timed and executed to get the job done. This 3-stage design is a classic and effective way to overcome Earth's gravity and send a payload on a journey across the globe. After the third and final rocket stage burns out and separates, the missile isn't done working. Now, the post-boost vehicle, sometimes called the bus, takes over. This is where the real precision work begins. The PBV is a sophisticated piece of equipment with its own liquid-fueled engine and a series of small thrusters. Its job is to make tiny, precise adjustments to the flight path. The guidance system is still active, telling the PBV exactly where to point and when to fire its engines to position itself perfectly for the final step of its mission. The PBV maneuvers in the weightlessness of space, lining up the shot. Its goal is to place the re-entry vehicle on the perfect trajectory to hit its target thousands of miles away. Once the guidance system confirms that the speed, altitude, and angle are all correct, the PBV gently releases the re-entry vehicle. This separation is a crucial moment. The re-entry vehicle, containing the W-87 warhead, is now on its own, beginning its long, silent coast through space. It travels in a high arc, like a cosmic cannonball, following the laws of physics toward its destination. As the re-entry vehicle begins its descent back toward Earth, it prepares for the most violent part of its journey. The atmosphere, which seems so thin from the ground, becomes a thick wall of resistance when you hit it at over 15,000 miles per hour. The friction generates immense heat, creating a brilliant fireball around the vehicle. This is where the cone-shaped design and the advanced heat shield do their job, protecting the precious cargo inside from being vaporized. The vehicle glows white-hot as it screams through the sky, rapidly decelerating as it plummets toward the ground. During this final phase, the re-entry vehicle uses a small internal system to start spinning, which helps keep it stable and accurate on its way down. At a predetermined altitude, a fuse inside the warhead is armed, preparing it for detonation. The missile can be set to detonate in the air to maximize its effects over a wide area, or upon impact with the ground. This final leg of the journey, from the edge of space to the target, takes only a matter of minutes, but it is the culmination of a perfectly choreographed sequence of events that began with a single command. Imagining a launch sequence helps to understand the whole process. It all starts with the most secure message in the world. An authenticated launch order is transmitted from the highest levels of command to the crews in the underground launch control centers. These crews, made up of highly trained Air Force officers, work in pairs to verify the order. They must both agree and turn their keys simultaneously. This two-person rule is a critical safety measure, ensuring that no single person can ever make the decision to launch one of these powerful weapons. It's a job that requires unwavering focus and a deep sense of responsibility. Once the keys are turned, the process is automated and incredibly fast. A massive 110-ton concrete and steel door rolls off the top of the silo, exposing the missile to the sky for the first time. Seconds later, the first stage rocket motor ignites with a deafening roar. The missile, pushed by over 200,000 pounds of thrust, begins to rise from its underground home. For the first few seconds it climbs straight up, clearing the silo before its guidance system begins to pitch it over, angling it toward its distant target. The journey has officially begun, and there's no turning back. As the missile soars into the sky, it's a race against gravity and time. The first stage burns for 60 seconds and then separates, having done its job. The second stage ignites, pushing the missile ever higher and faster. At around 2 minutes into the flight, at an altitude of over 60 miles, the protective nose cone or shroud that covers the re-entry vehicle is discarded. The missile is now in the near vacuum of space, and the shroud is no longer needed. The third stage then ignites, providing the final burst of speed to send the payload on its way. The entire powered flight, the part where the rocket engines are firing, lasts only about 3 to 4 minutes. In that short time, the missile has traveled hundreds of miles and reached an altitude of over 100 miles. After the third stage separates, the post-boost vehicle makes its final adjustments and releases the re-entry vehicle. From that point on, the warhead coasts through space for about 20 to 25 minutes before re-entering the atmosphere. The entire flight, from a silo in the American Midwest to a target on the other side of the world, is over in less than 30 minutes. We've talked about the engineering, the guidance systems, and the physics of the Minuteman III, but it's impossible to discuss this machine without confronting the devastating reality of what it's designed to do. If a W-87 warhead were to be detonated over a major city, the effects would be catastrophic. At the moment of detonation, an intensely hot fireball, brighter than the sun, would instantly vaporize everything within a half-mile radius. The destruction would be absolute and immediate. This is not a weapon for fighting battles. It is a weapon that ends them, and everything else, in the most final way imaginable. The immediate blast would be followed by a powerful shockwave, traveling faster than the speed of sound. This wave would flatten buildings and cause widespread destruction for miles in every direction. At the same time, a wave of intense thermal radiation would cause severe burns to anyone exposed, even many miles from the center of the blast. The combination of the blast, heat, and initial radiation would result in an unimaginable loss of life within the first minute. It is a level of destruction that is difficult for the human mind to truly grasp. And it's a reality we must never forget. Even after the initial explosion, the danger would be far from over. A massive mushroom cloud would carry radioactive dust and debris high into the atmosphere. This material, known as fallout, would then drift with the wind and settle back to Earth over a vast area, contaminating land, water, and air for years, even decades. The long-term effects of this radiation on survivors and the environment would be devastating, causing cancers and other illnesses for generations to come. The use of even a single nuclear weapon would create a humanitarian and environmental disaster on a global scale. This is why the Minuteman III and other weapons like it are so serious. They exist within a paradox. They are built to keep the peace by promising a level of destruction so complete that no sane leader would ever risk starting a nuclear war. The men and women who maintain and stand guard over these weapons do one of the dirtiest, most solemn jobs on the planet. They are guardians of a terrible power, and their daily work is a constant, silent prayer that their skills will never be called upon. The Minuteman III is a marvel of engineering, but it is also a sobering reminder that the greatest power often lies in restraint.